have done a couple of courses with the institution. But I would like to start off by maybe you would like to tell us a little about yourselves as individuals before we start the show.
Okay, thank you, Akansha, for inviting us to this show of Conscious Kenya. And we are very privileged and honored to be part of this group. I am Shahwana Khanam, born and bred in Kenya. And being in Kenya, we are not very exposed to things like spirituality, to a certain extent, chakras and stuff like that. So my journey began as a curiosity stuff when pranic healing was brought to our doorstep. I was very new, very naive about this topic. The inquisitive was there. Being inquisitive is something which, anything new comes, you want to know what it is. I thought it was something new, but apparently it's very old in the ancient times. But our concept, being in Kenya, not exposed to such modalities before in the year 2004, was quite a new thing. The reason I joined Pranic Healing was because my son had asthma, and somebody mentioned to me that this is something which can probably help him. A desperate mother can do lots of things. So I just joined for that sake. It wasn't any planning to go ahead or learn anything more. But yes, that's how my journey began. So since 2004 until now to 2021, I've never looked back from that day. 4th July 2004 was the day I did my first basic pranic healing level 1 class. And when I saw the great results which I achieved after that, and I got curious about pranic healing. So since then, it's actually been my life. I'm a grandmother of 3 amazing granddaughters, and my journey is very helpful being a pranic healer because it has step by step helped me in every part of my life in this journey. So I think if I say something about myself, my full stop and starting point would be I'm a pranic healer, and that's who I am.
Nice.
Thank you, Akansha.
Yes, Jayesh.
Thank you, Akansha, for having us on board today. My name is Jayesh Shah, and I'm basically a businessman and got interested in pranic healing when I came across pranic healing in 1997. The fact that energy healing and you can do lots of things with energy came as a very curious thing to me, and I started using some of these energy techniques to actually better myself. And that's how I got into pranic healing and got more curious about it, and then went and did the 4 initial courses in a span of about a year, and practiced a little bit to try and understand how this modality works and how we can all benefit from it. So that was my initial stage of going into pranic healing. So in the initial stage, we had somebody from by the name of Dr. Cynthia Pardo. She used to come from all the way from Philippines,
Okay.
and I used to interact with her, and then that's how we actually started getting the movement of pranic healing starting to happen here. But it was only until 2004 when we actually established the foundation.
Okay, interesting. So we have a lot of different kinds of people at the show today, people who probably don't know what is pranic healing. So maybe we can start off with what is pranic healing about? What is this?
Good question. I asked myself this first thing when I went into the show. Remember when I told you when I went in July to do my class, I had no clue what pranic healing is. I had never heard of the word pranic. So let's start with understanding what pranic means. Pranic is a word from the Sanskrit tradition just meaning prana. Now, if we go elaborate prana into a Chinese language, it basically means chi. Now, if I elaborate it into a Japanese term, it means ki. So now that will make some bells ring. So, okay, so is prana same as chi? Is prana same as ki? Ki is what the amazing Reiki practitioners use, is Reiki, you see. And if chi is what acupuncturists use, you see them using needles and they say, you know what, we manipulate chi in your body to facilitate some energy blocks. So chi, prana, pranic, ki, ruha in Hebrew is the same thing, you see. So it all means the same thing. So that's energy. Basically, this is prana, which we get from the concepts of understanding that we have energy, which we receive from the air, the sun, and the earth. So a combination of these three energies which help humanity, help the plant kingdom, help the animal kingdom. This is the energy which humanity needs. Human beings survive on this. Now, why aren't we aware of this? Because first, prana is a force, it's an energy force. Which works on your energy body. Now, again, the energy body becomes an invisible force because it's not seen. Many people talk about energy, auras, and chakras, and they all say we have auras and we have chakras, but many of them have not really come across seeing it physically eyes. But now we have scientists who have actually manufactured a machine called the Kirlian photography, and they actually make you put your senses, it's like fingers you put on a certain sensor, and it picks a vibration around your physical body. Now, research has shown that this physical body is in existence because now science also proves it. Yes, there is an invisible field around a human body, animal body, trees, plants, actually anything, any object has an invisible force around them. So that is a force which prana is facilitated in. That energy body of a human body lives on this prana. It's not made of prana, but it lives on that prana. So pranic healing basically is about energy healing using the chi energy, call it ki, call it mana, call it, in the Palestinian they actually call it mana. In Greek they also have certain names for it, and they call it ruha in Hebrew, I think. And we all have a concept of energy. So what we do is in pranic healing, it's an ancient and a science of energy healing. Why ancient? Because this technology is known by eons of ages. People from all walks of light have been doing healings from a long, long time ago. They were aware about chakras. They knew how the function of the chakras were. They knew the rotation of the energy which goes as a whirling part of you into the physical body. It facilitates energy into the body, and then the organs respond to this body. So in the modern way, the teacher of pranic healing, Master Choa Kok Sui, introduced this with a lot of research. So he called it the ancient and science because he says it's a science. If you look at your body, it's a science. And he's done a lot of researches and experimented on many, many years before he presented this matter to the public in 1987. And he said this is a science. And when you look at the science, everything is energy. So what we do is if there's an energy block in your system, for example, you have a shoulder pain, it is seen that part of the energy body is not balanced. How do you see this? In the classes, we're actually taught how to feel energies. You see, an aura should be in a balanced stage.
Yes.
So we are taught a very simple technique. We're just taught, okay, feel this energy. This energy doesn't seem, like it's balanced. So pranic healing is letter, cleanse the energy which is unwanted, replenish it. That's it, balance it. And most of them is done with the breath. You see, everything is made with the breath of life. Everything you do is a breath of life. Even in the Bible, in the other concept, if you see, they say there's nothing but everything existence is a breath of life. So we are just living beings. If we don't have oxygen and we don't breathe, that's the end of the story. Likewise, the pranic energy functions on the energy that you have to breathe, and you have to energize the part which has been cleansed and replenish it and balance it just with breathing. So that is what we call prana. The invisible chi which is transferred from the healer is called chi. You can call it ruha, you can call it prana, and that's where the word pranic comes from. So basically pranic healing, I would like to just term it, it's energy. And it's just balancing what is needed and removing what may be causing a discomfort or pain or a misbalance in some part of the body. So it's a simple technique of just cleansing, energizing, energy healing is what pranic healing is all about. It may sound hocus pocus. When I looked at it for the first time, I really found it very weird when people are just, using their hands. It's an invisible force. So no touch, no drug, no therapy. You have to focus on the energy body of the patient, and you cleanse out the part which you feel is imbalanced, and you replenish it with fresh energy, balancing it. So for me, I thought this doesn't look very, it looks
Convincing.
simple. It looks simple. Does this really, really work? But yes, they say the taste is in eating, the pudding, and then you can say, okay, this pudding really tastes fantastic. So I tried it out. So I ate the pudding, like you would say. And once that really got me going was when I saw results. Yes, just by simple cleansing, by simple energizing, you can actually help somebody relieve their pain, their discomfort in the body. You can actually balance their energy body, so the recovery rate of their physical body is faster. If they are on medication, the medication goes into the body much easier, much cleaner post. If somebody has, for example, needs an antibiotic, for example, they have certain infections, we have noticed that with pranic healing complementing the same medical concept, the person's healing is accelerated. Instead of them being in bed for 2 3 days feeling weak, with pranic healing complementing the medical facility, they get better faster. So in simple terms, it's all about energy. Sorry for a long answer, but it's all energy.
All right. So basically, what do you think is the science behind this? If you have to talk to a person who believes in logic and science, in a brief statement, because you've pretty much answered that, but what do you think is the science behind pranic healing?
So, if I may just try and give you it in a very simplistic way.
Yes.
So, Einstein, everybody knows Einstein was a scientist, and he actually discovered that energy cannot be destroyed or created.
Yes.
So, with pranic healing, it's the same principle in a sense we are using that. And when we say we are working with the energy, as we are made up of energy body, as Shawna explained, and there are certain energy centers or powerhouses within our system. And we just need to deal with those in a way that we try and work with this energy. So we are just transforming the energy from a negative energy or a contaminated energy to a positive energy. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what we're doing. And this is what Einstein was trying to tell the world, that energy cannot be destroyed or created, it only changes form. And this is what we are trying to do with pranic healing here, is just changing the form and then creating a balance of how much energy do we give and how little do we give or how much more do we give based on the need of the patient or based on the need of a particular part in the body and
True.
or needed in a particular section of the body. So this is what we work with, and we can work with various ailments of all types of nature. And like Shavana said, the energy also creates a certain, I mean, the medicine also creates a certain amount of change of energy in the body. But with the change with the pranic healing, it sort of accelerates that change to a much higher level.
So we are already having questions coming in from the audience, but so we have some very miraculous stories that I know of. I've heard from Shavana ji. So I would like to start off with the stories that people have healed and what kind of diseases they've healed, and either it's cancer or the big diseases like kidney stones. There's a story. So would you like to share some miracle stories with us?
Yes, Akanksha, thank you for reminding us of this. Pranic healing is a continuation of healing. Now, our teacher has given us a proper manual. When you come to classes, we're actually given a proper manual, a study of certain techniques we need to follow, and be able to guide the students and how and what to do. So his books are normally a cookbook approach. So once you've learned the workshops, it's just a matter of following the book and saying, step one, do this, step two, do this, step three, do this. And he also says that the treatment needs to be repeated for perhaps sometimes daily, depends on the ailment. And sometimes he says 3 to 4 times in a week based on the patient's recovery rate. Now, some patients we have seen that with pranic healing. There was a patient once, I think, Akanksha, you're a witness to that. We were in Kisumu and we had a nice orientation which was going on. We were really talking about how to introduce pranic healing to the public there. And there was just one gentleman, we will not name the gentleman for their own privacy reasons. And he came up to us and he said, tomorrow I have to be in hospital because I'm really in pain. The doctor has diagnosed me with really severe 3 or 4 kidney stones, which are really stuck in my kidney. They had actually dropped down to the urethra
Yes.
and urethra. Yeah, sorry, I pronounced it correctly. And that becomes very, very painful. So I was saying, okay, so we use something called crystal healing also. And we have a protocol in our book which shows us step by step. This is how you heal or help a person. Actually, it's not a heal, it's a treatment, because nobody guarantees any results out of even getting that you must do pranic healing, there's guaranteed result. That's not what we say. So we said, okay, let's try and help you out. Just followed the simple protocol, opened the book and took our crystal out. And with the crystal, we are taught with certain color pranas, you can disintegrate the stones. Make an intention, disintegrate the stones, run the crystal in a certain way. So it was me and a colleague of mine called Nisha Haria. She was with me and we were doing the healing. And we both did the healing on one patient, must have spent around 30-40 minutes just cleansing his energy body, balancing, cleansing. And at that one point, there was a time, I think 15-20 minutes in the healing, this person actually sort of made an ouch moment. I don't know if you remember that, Akansha. He actually said, like there was very severe pain which came in. I actually got thought, okay, did this make it worse? I was asking like that. So anyway, then I was okay with it. Then I continued with the healing. Then he said, do you feel better? He said, yeah, I don't feel pain anymore. I'm okay. So he said, but I still have to go to the doctor tomorrow. And then we said, fine. I didn't think much about it. And the next day, the person actually called us and he said, I went to the hospital, the ultrasound or whatever the doctor had recommended before. I don't know if they were going to do a surgery for him or they were going to do some medication. I'm not too sure of what treatment he was going for. The doctor actually couldn't find the kidney stones. And I think you were there. And that was one of the miraculous healings we have experienced. And that was wow. I thought, oh, this thing really works.
And obviously, with
And
cancer, you have some stories of how you have helped people with cancer or chemotherapy.
oh,
So,
yes. The good thing about pranic healing is that it works in all walks of life. So, one thing we learned when we were going and learning pranic healing is that you see, cancer patients need chemotherapy. And one of the chemotherapy drugs, I mean, let's call them the cocktail, has a lot of side effects on the body, which is normal because they're trying to help patients, that's fine. But also with the cocktail comes side effects. So, I tried it with my own sister actually. She was suffering from the second stage of breast cancer, and when she went through an operation to impute the breast and all that, the doctors had to give her chemotherapy for 5-6 weeks continuously. And me being me, and I thought, this, why am I pranic healer when my own family should suffer? So I contacted somebody who works in Apollo Hospital in the pranic healing foundation in Chennai. And in the Apollo Hospital, they actually have a clinic which they assist cancer patients who are willing to have holistic healing part of their journey in recovering from cancer. So they sent me a protocol and said, Shahwana, please, before the cocktail is infused into the patient, clean it with using pranic healing. And this is all done on a distant healing. I was in Nakuru. My sister was in Mombasa, and I started cleaning the chemotherapy drug. I used to cleanse it, and there's a protocol you follow with colors and assisting it to remove the side effects of the medication and stuff like that. So we
wow,
continued doing that, and I noticed that my sister did not go through nausea. She hardly lost much of her hair, which recovery hair came back immediately. Her eyebrows never lost any, her nails never got darkened. And the best part was when the chemotherapy drug was being given to her, she did not throw up or all that. In fact, the doctors even were a little surprised, asking, are you okay, feeling okay? And she felt really, really good. Now, I will not say it's only pranic healing which made her recovery happen. Of course, she used other, the medications were given. She used other herbal medicines and stuff like that to help her recovery. But this was one thing which I really saw helped her. And then after that, I would do a cancer protocol for her. Yes, for 6 months, a healing continued for her.
that's amazing. I mean, anything to complement the major allopathic treatment happening, it's amazing because it just eases the pain. And why not? Why not?
Yes, yes, that's something I saw, and it was really, really amazing. There is somebody who's asking a question. Can you heal your self? Can you scan your own energies? Yes, you can. We do have a concept of where we teach you self healing, where you can heal yourself. In fact, we have an online course if you're interested. That we just do concepts of teaching you how to feel your own body, how to heal your own energy bodies and stuff like that. So we do have that, and I have healed myself several times. Jayesh will say to you also that we do need healing for ourselves also. So yes, there is a concept of healing oneself also.
Amazing, amazing. So, Conscious Kenya last week had an episode with Farid Kimani, which was about addiction, addiction with alcohol, which he had. And the people have different types of addictions, addiction with drugs or alcohol or or various things they have in life. So my question is, what can pranic healing do for addiction, especially smokers, drinkers, drugs?
Yeah, this is a very integral part of pranic healing. We have a third level course, which is called Pranic Psychotherapy, and this is where we deal with addictions. So, drug addictions, smoking, drinking, we've got even food addictions, compulsive food disorders, many things like that can be actually, we can treat all of these and help the patient come out of it. But with the psychotherapy treatments, we also give the pranic healing, the advanced pranic healing, which is the second stage of the healing part. And when we blend all that together, they also recover much better, and they are also able to come out in a much better way, and a much in all forms, in the physical level, the emotional level, and the mental level as well. So
Amazing.
these are some things which we've done, and some of the treatments that we given to smokers, like for example, one of our pranic healers in Mombasa, we were there this weekend doing a course, and one of the students who came in for pranic healing was saying, I was given a treatment on my smoking, and in one treatment, he did not take cigarettes for 10, 11 days, just one healing. So it's a very powerful tool. If you can use it properly and work with it, it makes
So
a
it
big,
can
big difference.
aid someone who's trying to quit smoking, perhaps can start off with pranic healing and then obviously work in every other way that possible, but at least it starts off the process of quitting. So it looks amazing. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of smokers out there and alcoholics who need help. So this is a possible way to help them, and this is amazing because I have people who contacted me this morning and told me, will you ask this question, especially in regards to alcohol, but didn't want to write about it because people don't want to mention it out there and be in public. But this is amazing. So they can definitely approach you for treatment, for chronic healing, for addiction. It's amazing. So we have somebody asking, how does chronic healing help in stress and anxiety?
Stress is an energy, no? Think about it. Stress, anxieties are all energies. Everything is energy. If you look at it from a base of life, energy exists. Now, if I'm happy, I am going to say I'm happy. That's an emotion I feel. I cannot express it in a physical form and remove happiness from my body and say, okay, here's in a bottle, this is how happiness looks like. It's not. It's an energy which the brain has a signal to the body. The brain says, okay, you're happy now. So the body responds to that energy. So the emotions are what I feel. So if I'm stressed, then what is causing the stress? Maybe it's something to do with my life, the way it's going. I'm not happy with the environment which I'm living in. I'm not happy maybe with the job I'm in. I'm not happy with the relationship I'm having. And there are many, many factors which create stress. And now there's a new concept, no? Everybody used to say, okay, if I don't have a great job, I'm stressed. If I don't have a great partner, I'm stressed. And now there's a new addiction and new stress levels. So we went to a restaurant. The minute they go in, instead of ordering food, what do we look at? If there's a Wi-Fi there. If there's no Wi-Fi, that's stress.
Yes.
And that adds to the whole dinner, ruining the entire dinner because you can't look at your phone. You can't take a picture of the food, the nice food you are having in this hotel, which you can post to the Facebook. So now that is a new kind of a stress which has built up. So stress is an energy a human being creates themselves. Yes, and leads to anxiety if it's in a more fearful way. So if you have stress and there is a fear contact related to something, then it leads to an anxiety level. And that anxiety then makes, now here's a center which we call the solar plexus energy. The solar plexus chakra controls all your major organs in the physical body. I mean, most of the Reiki practitioners will tell you this. Other people who practice pranic healing and other energy modalities, they tell you this solar plexus controls most of your major organs in your physical body. So what happens? The entire solar plexus tightens up, the stomach tightens up. You can't breathe because the entire, your heart is being, pushed up. So what happens? The heart starts beating in a little bit more tenser way. What happens? You're under anxiety attack. What caused it? Started from a stress, led to fear. So it's a self-inflicted thing which we may have picked from others, which may have picked, and sometimes our own stuff, we're not able to deal with stress as we should.
So
So
what
that
can
is
people
what causes it.
what can I, that is the cause. But if I'm a person who's going, I mean, if I, before I take a session for pranic healing, what can I do for myself that you would suggest as a person who,
First, yes, thank you, Akansha. The first thing I would like to do is first, everybody will suggest to take deep breaths. Everything is a breath of life. Everything is made with the breath of life. First of all, they will tell you take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale gently. Do your abdominal breathing. Inhale, allow your heartbeat to slow down a bit. That is the first thing which everybody will tell you. The second thing is to have a positive attitude towards life. Look at it. Look at your life. Okay, what's making me stress? Why am I stressed? Ask some questions. This really makes a big difference. If I'm stressed because I go to work every day late and I reach at 8 o'clock instead of reaching at 7:30, then why am I late every day? Why can I not wake up earlier and be on time? For example, I'm just giving an example which we have faced. A lot of people just have unnecessary stress which they can actually change some things about. And also taking some deep breathings really makes your stress level go down. And also having a positive attitude. So looking at something, I'm not happy with this thing, what can I do? You either can change it. If it's in your hand, you can change it. And if it's not in your hand, if it's going to rain just now, what can you do about it? Nothing. Put your feet up, have a cup of coffee, and relax. One of the reasons is that we have anxiety attacks and stress is because we try to change a lot of things about our life. So, with the audience, I would just like to know from my experience with pranic healing, I have learned that you can meditate. Just try and be silent with yourself, with your thoughts. Try and connect to your inner self. Try and ask questions like, why am I stressed? Why do I have to go through what I have to do? Is there anything in my control that I can change, or is everything is external? And you normally find your answers that you can change a lot about yourself than look externally for help. And do some pranic breathing. Pranic breathing actually means just take inhale, hold your breath, gently exhale, but it should be from the abdominal, low, very deep breathing. 5 minutes of that helps. We also offer a very beautiful meditation called the Twin Hearts. That's also a stress reliever. And 15 minutes of doing that meditation actually helps you calm down your emotions. We have tried it, experimented it with many patients, with many of our friends, and it really helps us. So if you want that meditation, you can just type Twin Hearts and you'll get Twin Hearts meditation online in abundance. So you can actually go through this. Yes. The other thing which I'd like to tell the audience is that stress is just an energy. You have the power to change it. It's an energy. You can have the positive energy. And also when you come to us, we just normally just try to calm you down by balancing your chakras. We remove energies of stress. As Jayesh mentioned, we have a level 3 class which is called the Pranic psychotherapy class, which we focuses on doing especially for addictions, especially for traumas, especially for grief, phobias. We work on those kind of ailments needed. But with basic pranic healing, can I relieve stress? If you come to my first class, our first class which we teach, of course you can. Yes, it's very easy. It's nothing difficult. Within 15 minutes, you can actually relieve stress from your body and others. Why? Because the energy has picked up on the chakras. The chakras have become really overwhelmed with certain type of energies. We just start to sweep and just energize it, and you do notice a difference. But you don't have to believe us. I mean, I can be saying anything. You really have to try it yourself to see the benefits of this.
definitely. Yeah, I think we have people asking us if is pranic healing similar to Reiki? If you can help.
Yes, that's a good question. Is pranic healing similar to Reiki? It's all energy. Secondly, why is pranic healing slightly different? Is because pranic healing works with 11 major chakras. We talk about 11 major chakras. Reiki focuses on 7. They don't say it's the only chakras. They actually just say they start with 7. And Reiki has been there for years and years of ages. It's an amazing modality which also uses Reiki, key energies, and it works wonders. They work with symbols. Pranic healing does not work with symbols. Pranic healing has a more concept of cleansing the energy first and energizing it. That's the difference. The other difference is that pranic healing has general sweeping and other modalities which are part of the healing. So it's a step-by-step healing protocols you follow, and that's the difference between pranic healing and Reiki. But if you say is the energy the same, key is same, prana is the same. How you use it depends. So all due respect to the Reiki practitioners, they're amazing healers. They work amazing. They do create results because they use the same concept. It's just that with pranic healing, additional techniques are shared. Maybe it's a more modern approach to healing. so more has been revealed. It's just like, medical doctors, they've been there from eons of ages, and every day there's progress, every day there's new learnings, every day there's new research going on. So we would say pranic healing is a new research energy healing modality.
Awesome,
If
awesome.
I'm,
Right. Sorry, do you have something to say, Jayesh?
yeah, if I was just going to add to what Shawna was saying. One of the things with pranic healing is it's a more understanding of the energy concept and how it actually works is more explained in pranic healing in depth, in steps as well, and it's a little bit more focused way of approach in terms of healing as well. Well as the way I understand Reiki, yes, it works. It is beautiful system, but they are a bit more generalized and focused. But they do have certain, of course, certain ways of doing things also. Yes, and they all work.
Okay.
I'd like to
Well,
answer a question which somebody has asked here. It says, how many sessions do you need to for a full recovery? It depends. It depends on a patient and what is the protocol we are healing you for. Like you have hiccups, for example, I'm just going to use a very simple concept, which if you have hiccups and you come to me and you need a healing, 10 minutes, one healing, enough, gone, finished case. And that you can do for yourself. But what happens, God forbid, if somebody has cancer? It may need a long time, depending again on the severity of the ailment. If a patient in the first stage of cancer, maybe a couple of months of healing can help them recover, do the chemotherapy, whatever they're going through, the healing can be really, really amazingly fast. But what happens if a cancer patient is for stage 4? What can we do for them? Can recovery happen? Nobody promises any recovery for them, but what we can do is we usually heal them as a treatment to alleviate their sorrow, their suffering, their pain at that moment of time. So even if they're going through cancer treatment, even if they're really going in a bad shape, there is no hardly any pain, because the energy helps them relieve that. So a person feels more, relief from this. They have no pain, no symptoms. Even if they're going through cancer treatment, at least it's helping them with that process. So severity of the medical condition depends. It depends on the recovery of the patient on their own self. If somebody wants to get well, we have seen even the most difficult cases heal just in no time, because the patient was willing to heal. I'll share a small story. There was a lady who couldn't walk. She had rheumatism, arthritis on her hands, on her legs. She really used to have a lot of pain. And she really wanted to go to the mandir to pray. It was her desire that she couldn't do that. So when she was introduced to pranic healing, and this is a problem she had, she couldn't even walk. She used to come with a frame, walking into the pranic healing center, and she really wanted to get healed. Within 3 weeks of doing regular pranic healing treatment for her, although this was a very severe case, she actually walked with a stick on her own and started going to the temple and started bowing down, and that was one of the most amazing cases witnessed, because pranic healing helped. I know it helped, but one thing I know is the will of the patient to get well was more stronger than what was being given to her. So it depends on the patient also. If they have faith and they want to get healed, then the energy really, really flows much, much easier into their system.
awesome, awesome. Right now, I mean, in the world, we have this very, very hard time. The pandemic that is, for some people, obviously very, very traumatic. We have people who have lost family, who have lost friends, who have seen the worst time of their lives. So, two questions about this. One, obviously, how can people combat COVID as a whole, and how can they heal themselves or the symptoms they face or their family or around them? What can they do? What are your tips? And secondly, how can people overcome grief? This is something that has personally hit me in the last one day where we lost some family friend in Kisumu. And it broke my heart. It's something, and it made me realize that COVID is affecting every single human being, whether we like it or not, whether we choose it or not. So self healing or healing people around you, and secondly, grief, the mental grief and the mental pain we see. What do you suggest about all this?
So one of the things with COVID is that COVID is real, one of the things, and then with COVID, there is a lot of fear-based issues that come up. So people get fear: Will I die? Will I not die? Will my family member uh, die or not, if it's in a case of a family member. And the whole family unit and the people around that particular person who is gonna infected becomes a big scenario. And we know also the doctors tell us that with fear, our immunity also falls and it goes lower. And the more we fear, the more the immunity comes down. And COVID is all about boosting. If you boost your immunity system, then you are able to combat the COVID to a larger degree. And with simple things, you can actually, uh, at least the first line of reaction or response to COVID can be not have fear. And this is something pranic healing helps a lot. And then we have protocols where we can heal COVID patients. And we have to do healing if they are at a certain level. If it's at a higher level, then we may have to do 2, 3 healings a day. But if it's at a starting stage, maybe a healing a day will basically get them into a much more better rate of recovery. And this is how COVID actually is treated. In many parts of the world, we're using this on a daily basis on many COVID patients. And especially the fear aspect is really, really reduced when we start doing the healing. Because, like we said, the third stage of psychotherapy, the third stage of chronic healing, it's called psychotherapy. And we actually deal with fears, traumas, anxieties, all these type of things which affect in COVID patients is what we deal with in these healings. And it really, really helps the patient recover.
Like mentioned, Akansha, before, that anything is energy, fear is an energy, grief is an energy. It's very difficult times in this earth, and we do understand. So one thing we will again recommend the viewers is, please try and connect to this meditation called the Twin Hearts meditation. It's based on the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. We actually, what can I do about it? You know, it's a global karma, as I would say, we are going through. The entire earth is going through this very difficult time at this moment of time. So what can I do sitting at my home? So this meditation focuses on, you know, blessing, raising your hands in a blessing position like this, visualizing the small planet earth in front of you, and sending healing, soothing energies to the earth. You know, it's a very simple meditation where it, you know, connect to your heart, send loving energies to the heart, to the you know, earth. Lord, make me an instrument of your healing. Where there is darkness, let me sow light. And right now there's so much darkness in this earth. So by doing this regular meditation, first releases people from this fear aspect. Secondly, they're able to help one another. Their energy body becomes a little bit more denser and more purer and more stronger. And we have seen people's immunity levels go higher when they practice the Twin Hearts meditation on a regular basis. And those who also do pranic breathing, which I've just shared with you, actually is just deep abdominal breathing, which is supposed to be done with the rhythm. It helps boost their energy up. So energy follows thought. So if I'm positive, then I'm attracting positive energies to myself. If I'm going to be in a fear energy, then I'm attracting that fear. I have seen people have panic attacks just by reading their result. You know, it's positive. It's not a death sentence. You know, many people have recovered from it, but that's the fear. It's a fear which is related, and I understand what everyone goes through. So we try and help people to say, listen, you can be well. We today, the medicine has really helped. Medical doctors have done, science has really gone high. They have really done a lot of research, so they do know how to help COVID patients. And I do know that grief happens because you have fear. And those who have already lost their loved ones, how do they deal with it? Again, meditation to enhance helps. Having a positive attitude and blessing the situation makes a big difference to how you're looking at things. So we have experimented, experienced it. And if anybody would like to do this, then every Wednesdays at 8 p.m., they can join us. If they want the link, we will give it to the Conscious Kenya website. And they can join us on the Zoom link every Wednesday. And we do this particular meditation and help. And then we spend 10 minutes blessing anybody who needs us. They can send even the names of the people they want healing for. We also do, you know, have created a mass healing group where we send loving energies every day. Once a day we heal these patients through mass, because we can't go one by one. We had a list of almost 150 patients once we were, you know, doing it's reduced. And we have seen recoveries or results in that. Even for the loved ones who are really grieving, if they want to reach out, we're happy to help them also with healing. We can actually guide them through this meditation. We can guide them through the forgiveness prayer and help them on that level. So I don't know if this will help the audience in any way.
Sorry, practicing, I mean, just speaking of all this, the technique, the prayers, and the meditation, the Twin Hearts meditation, obviously I do know about it and I think it's really powerful. I thought maybe we could practice a small technique with the audience and perhaps a small
Yes.
prayer or something we can do. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, let's do a small experiment with everyone. I hope everyone can see me. Let's feel some energy, and we will do a prayer which you can do. It's called the Great Invocation. The prayer is based on the positive. You see, everything is words. So if you say, let's do a small experiment. Just rub your hands like this, everyone. I hope they can see me. Just press the middle region of your hands like this. Okay, and just do that. Okay, then just open your palms. This is just to activate your energy on the hands, so we can try and feel the energies in a few seconds, so we know what energy is. Okay, so I'd like you to just open your armpits. Do not let them be closed. Just relax yourself. Bring your hands together, maybe 4 to 5 inches together, and just focus on the middle region of your hands. I'd like you to do some deep breathing. Inhale, smile at your hands, smile at your body, and exhale. Focus in the middle region of your hand. The hand should be connected this way. Inhale and exhale. Then the whole attention is in your hands. Inhale, smile at your heart, smile at your hands, your entire body, and then you exhale. Inhale again, exhale again. Inhale again, exhale again. Now gently just rotate your hands round and round. If you are a little bit sensitive, you feel a vibration in your hands, some sort of vibration happening. Okay, now try and pull this energy away, and now try and bring it together. Do you feel a resistance that your hands can't join? So this is energy which we call prana, chi, ki, which is in the middle of your hand. So this is what we normally use for healing. But you can change this to a positive effect, and you can change this energy to a very, very negative effect if you want. So I want you to take your right hand, and I want you to say some really nice words on this. Okay? You can say peace, I love, harmony, compassion, healing, any nice things you can think of, peace, love, anything which you feel is a positive word. So just keep saying that to the hand. Okay, and then just feel the quality of the hand. If you're sensitive enough, you'll see, this hand really feels lighter now. Okay, it feels lighter if you're sensitive. Now let's take the other hand and let's say some not very nice things, like the famous words people like to use. I am so tired, I'm so hungry, I'm fed up of life. Life is not treating me great. I'm not a good person. I'm not happy. I'm sad. What a life, man. Not worth it. I'm not great. Low self image about myself. Now, I would like you to weigh both your hands. What feels
definitely.
heavier? The negative guy or the positive energy? What feels heavier?
I feel the left, the
Uh,
negative is way heavier.
Yes, I hope that audience are doing this, so maybe some of them can share this with us. You will
Yeah, maybe.
notice that the left hand seems a little bit heavier, and the right
Right.
hand, where we were sending positive thoughts to, feels much lighter. The body responds to the same things. Okay, so you may do this. That's one experiment you can do. The body sends signals, the brain follows what you say. It's a law of attraction, my dear friends. What you think is what happens to your body. So every day, if in the morning you wake up and say, I am beautiful, I am happy, I'm the greatest person in life, I'm beautiful, I have self-image which I'm really happy, I'm great enough, I'm not perfect, but I'm great, I'm work in progress, but I'm not a failure, I'm the perfect being. When that is what you're selling, that's the brain signal sending to your body. But if every day We think that I'm not good enough, I'm not great enough. We hardly send any positive energies to you. My head is always hurting, I'm always sick. If you send such vibrations, then that's exactly what the body goes through. And that's the law of attraction. You see, energy follows thought. It's
We
simple.
have
So
two people,
yes,
Alima,
so
and on Instagram we have Alia, coaching with Alia. Both of them
yes,
say hand feels heavier. So this is really amazing, really amazing.
they did say that. Yes, the left hand feels. Yes, that's what happens. It's how we transmute energy. So imagine the body responds to this. So if you're going to send or listen to negative thoughts all the time, it is going to respond to that. Okay, so let's do a small energy for prayer. So let's put our hands together like this. Facing. This is your heart center, which is the center of love. And this is your crown center, which we call the center of divine love. Meaning, if my center of love is activated, I'm, a person who can be loving to myself and people around me. But if I connect to my divine love, that means I'm a universal person, that I can be loving to everyone. That is a divine energy which comes, and I am loving to the whole universe, or the whole planet as a whole. So do I choose people to bless? No. Am I the greatest person or not? No, we are all work in progress. So we bless by knowing that I'm doing my job. Little bit of these blessings really make a big difference. So I'd like you to put your hands on your blessing position. This is what we call the blessing position. I'd like you to visualize the earth like a small bowl in front of you, and close your eyes, and you may follow after me. Now visualize the planet Earth in a beautiful light, filling up the entire planet. Fill it with a beautiful light, a brilliant white light or a gold light, whichever you prefer. You may add a tinge of pink to make it more loving. Visualize our beautiful globe in the lighted energy with every person, every being living on this earth. 7 billion people, and we don't know everyone, but we are going to help and send loving energy to each one of them through this prayer. Let's not forget the planet Earth as a whole, the water kingdom, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and every person and every being means the creation which lives on planet Earth. So let's bless. Inhale, concentrate on your middle of your chest, which is the heart center, and on top of your crown, which is the crown center. Inhale. As you exhale, follow after me. Say, from the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the planet Earth. Let light descend on our beautiful planet Earth. May light of peace descend on earth. May descend on love, descend on earth. May light descend on earth. All the people on earth be healed and blessed from their sorrow, suffering, and pain. Visualize the planet Earth becoming brighter. Visualize the plant kingdom being saved. Our environment, we are more aware of how we can take care of our beloved, respected Mother Earth. Visualize the earth responding with freshness, allowing this light to be on her and all its creation. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person and every being. Send loving energies to every person, every being, to even those people who have been difficult to you, people who have been a little nastier to you. Just send them love. Just send them love. Remember, evolution evolves time, process, and lots of dumb mistakes. We are all in that process of learning, evolving, and forgiving. Visualize there is forgiveness energy for every person, every being, especially where planet Earth is going through a difficult time, not just with COVID, but there are people who are hungry, people who don't have food. There are people who are fighting. There is violent energies going around on planet Earth. Bless humanity with love. Visualize every person, every being embraced in these energies of love. May the great teacher return to earth. So be it. Meaning, may there be peace on earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being, the purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. Visualize people doing the right things, planting trees, preserving water, allowing the environment to be more cleaner. Humans are more aware on how to preserve energy, to how to look after the earth, and have brotherhood towards each other. Visualize people embracing and making peace. Visualize countries which are fighting, harmonies being stored there. Visualize where there's violent energy, there's law and order in that part of the world, and send healing, soothing energies to all the people you know who are in difficult times, especially those who are going through financial crisis. Many people have lost their jobs. Many people are going through very difficult times economically. Visualize their lives improving. Visualize they're able to find jobs. Visualize that their businesses are thriving. Blessings be to all who need financial help at this moment. Relationship healings also need to happen. Visualize people are in harmony, in peace, forgiven. Visualize people are more tolerant and happier towards each other's company. Visualize people are in hospitals, are getting the right treatment which is needed for them. Visualize the doctors and the nurses are being divinely protected, are being guided into the right medications which are needed for the patients. Bless all the healthcare workers, the frontline workers who are helping so many people. Visualize the earth becoming brighter and healthier and stronger. Healing to all the souls, all the people who need healing, especially who are going through a very difficult time due to COVID-19. Visualize the families who are grieving are now filled with inner peace. May they have the inner strength to move on and to restore their life back. Blessings be to every person, every being without exception. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of light and love work out. May it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore, manifest the divine plan on planet Earth. So be it. Amen. Om. Amen. Blessings be to every person, every being who need our help at this moment of time. So be it. Visualize the planet Earth bright, healthy, and beautiful. Blessings be to our Mother Earth. So be it. So this is a short prayer which you can get. We can share it with you. Every day, if you do it 2-3 times, it really makes a big difference because you have given your 5-minute service to entire Earth. So this is something we can do for everyone. Also feeling the energies. Creating a positive attitude, my dear friends, is very, very important for our bodies. Do not let your bodies go into a realm where it feels like it's not okay, it's not well, it's not healthy, it's not powerful. You are the best creation of God. I wish we knew that. You are the best creation of God. You are the unique you. And if you really believe in that, then everybody picking up your vibrations also believes in that.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much. This is amazing. Look at the compliments we are receiving. That was an amazing prayer. And that was very, very amazing. Thank you. And we have Rasna saying, I truly believe in staying positive affirmations. And thank you to my young boys. Thank you so, so much. So this is, it's great that we are spreading this message and, teaching people how to be positive and appreciate things and, full of gratitude. So before we go to end, we start wrapping up the session. I just have one last question, which is, very brief, what would you say is the privilege of being a self-healer? What are the advantages to self of being a self-healer?
One of the things which I would like to probably say is that pranic healing is a way of life. And once we adopt pranic healing, we begin to understand ourselves a lot more because it's all about energy and how do we embrace this energy and what type of energy do we embrace and how do we take it in. So it really, once you begin to understand the energy concept and the energy aspects, you will begin to really start embracing the positive aspects of everything that we do. And that in itself is a self-healing process. Besides that, we have protocols and ways and techniques to actually deal with self-healing. So these are there. When we do the courses, we begin to share all these techniques which everybody can learn. Apart from that, I'd just like to touch on one little point on the business aspect. And pranic healing is, as we know, that it's all about energy. Even in the business, there is energy also. And there are cycles within the business. And Master Choa actually has designed a course on spiritual business management. and he talks
Mm.
about the cycles that we are in, and business, everything is in a cyclic format, and then we have ups and downs, and then how can we raise with our ups and how can we reduce our downs is something that is being taught in spiritual business management. So there are many things that people can pick up and work with, and that also helps businesses to grow. Even your professions can also be enhanced through the same cycles. Everybody has a cycle, and you can work with those cycles. And this is something that I thought I should share with everyone.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
in simple terms, Akansha, we would just say with you manifest your greatness, whatever it is, you can manifest it.
Definitely. I believe in pranic healing. I'd like to just share it as a closing thought before we take the last question and hear from the audience. There's a comment that says, such a beautiful prayer, such important messages. I so wish this was taught in schools. So, coming to that,
We actually we have 10 schools in Mombasa. We actually they do the prayer every day, and there has been remarkable changes within those children. They come from very humble backgrounds, and we support 8 schools in Mombasa with the Varuji program. And every morning, those children recite the Great Invocation before they go to class.
oh, oh, amazing. So we have a very important question, and that is the last question for you before we end the session. Is that how can one learn pranic healing? I mean, what are the steps, the stages, the cities they can do it? Now that it's online, the whole world is zooming everything. What are the choices we have?
Okay.
And this, what age group can do it, and what is the first step? I don't think it's appropriate to discuss costs, but just what do you offer, and how can one learn, just to start off if they want to learn pranic healing. And as we move into this, I would like to just share a thought that I have studied pranic healing. This was in 2009 and 9 and 10, and I did 2009 precisely. So I did the basic pranic healing, then I did the advanced, and I did psychotherapy, and I really enjoyed this course. It
And
changed my
Arabic
life.
yoga.
Today, the person that I am, at
Yes.
every step of my spiritual journey, I honor my lessons I learned in pranic healing. So anybody who wants to awaken their spiritual self and believes that, just wants to discover who they are as a person and what they should do for themselves. And this is the greatest gift you can give yourself, honestly, because it's made me a much calmer person, much more patient, much more understanding of just that I'm nothing and I'm nobody. And this is the most amazing feeling in the world, knowing that I have a long journey and I've only started. So I connect really well with a cousin of mine, and she's also watching me right now. And we talk about spirituality, but she did not know about pranic healing. And I'm so glad that she's out here watching and leaving comments, and she's going to be, we understand each other. So anyway, for the world out there who do not know what pranic healing is, I would like us to use this opportunity to tell us how they can take up the basic course, how many days it takes, and what age groups can do it.
Thank you, Akansha. The first thing which I'd like to share is that for the first time, because of the pandemic, there is a course online now available, which is called the self-healing. Now, that is only a concept where people just want to heal themselves. They just want to learn how to heal themselves, understand how I can empower myself, enhance my immunity. And that course is online, 1 day course. Anybody over the ages of 16 can do it. It's an online course. It's called Pranic Self-Healing. And then after that, if some people want to go more thorough into pranic healing, which we do recommend you do, where you learn pranic healing skills, how to feel energies, how to feel auras, how to see auras. We talk about the chakras, the concepts of the chakras, the functions of the chakras, how to do simple healing to chronic ailments, how you can heal. There we also go into detailing about self-healing, distant healing on others who are not, because if somebody is in an ICU ward, how do you go there? You're not even allowed to go in the hospital. You can actually help your loved one sitting at home. So the law of karma is also discussed a bit in this course. That is called the basic pranic healing class, again open to everyone over the ages of 16 years. It's a 2 day course, which we normally try and do it on the weekend, but some requests come on a weekday, so we do break it down into 3 days of the weekday. That can also happen. So let's look at it, 16 hours basic pranic healing class. That is the level 1. And then after that, we offer level 2, which is called the advanced pranic healing course, which works with color pranas. You can actually learn how to be more subtle colors, how to help people, like I talked about cancer, cleansing the chemotherapy drug, and all that. For that, you really need the knowledge of advanced pranic healing, where you're taught the properties of the colors, how to project colors, what quality of colors, what are the properties of the colors. It's a very technical, science based course, although it's simple, but the knowledge which you get from there and the amount of healing you can progress with it is just super. So we teach you blood cleansing technique in that. We teach you how to enhance your immunity in that. We teach you how to do internal organ techniques, which are one of the very powerful techniques which are shared in the advanced pranic healing. And not to forget how to help patients who are suffering from chronic ailments like cancer. So that comes level 2. Again, advisable, you must do level 1 to be able to do level 2 advanced pranic healing. Prerequisite is basic pranic healing. And then you come to the psychotherapy class, which is prerequisite is basic, advanced, and then you move to psychotherapy. Psychotherapy again deals with stress, anxieties, phobias, and problems on that nature, addictions and all that. So it's a must to do the class, because every problem starts with stress. Every problem has some ailment which is related to stress, which is related to pent up emotions, anger, resentment, stuff like that, which makes the body go a little bit low on psychological emotions. So that's a level 3 class, again 16 hours, again open to the 16 and above ages. Prerequisite, basic, advanced. Now, when you said something very interesting, who am I? What do I want to do? Who am I really? What am I going through? And what is my life purpose? For that, we will offer a class called Achieving Oneness with a Higher Soul, which is a 2-day class, again, 16 hours, 60 ages of 16 again, open to the public. And you don't need any prerequisite or prior classes for this. You can do the class on its own. It's a spiritual class where we teach you who are you.
So all this
When
is
people say, yes, when people say, I want to achieve peace, I just want to have this stillness. And, in the Bible, there's a beautiful quote said, be still and know that I'm God. What does that phrase really mean to you? Does God really mean by saying, be still and know that I'm God? So this course really helps you understand your inner self. It's a me course, which we call the empowerment course, positive life transformation. This course guarantees you that you have understood your life to a certain degree. You have understood your destiny rather. We teach you a very beautiful meditation called the meditation on the blue pearl in this whole class, and it's all about you. This is about you. If you really want to have your me time, then this is a class for you. And some spiritual enlightenment, detailing information is shared. If 2 minutes you want to have inner peace, we share mantras, we give you the concept of how to do this and all that. So it's part of this course, is a me course. I call it the me course because it's a life transformation course. And then, of course, for the businessman, if they're interested in understanding the cycles which Jayesh was talking about, how do I improve my life? How do I improve myself as a businessman? How do I attract prosperity? How do I let money stay with me rather than me struggling? So this course is called the spiritual business management course, and it's not just for people who have businesses. Housewives, everyone can do it, because then they understand the cycles of life. When do I get married? When is the right time for me to get married? What am I looking for? If I want a partner in my life, what am I going to look for? What kind of qualities am I going to look for? So we teach you scanning, remember that. So this course really helps you understand a lot of stuff about yourself. Prerequisite is you must do the basic, then you do the spiritual business management. And we have a line and line of courses. I would not go into more details, but these are the 4 courses which I would right now recommend, because we have local trainers which we can offer in Kenya. Due to the
and
pandemic, we are offering the 4 cases right actually in East Africa: basic pranic healing, advanced pranic healing, pranic psychotherapy, and achieving oneness with the higher soul. And we have 2 centers in Tanzania, Arusha, and people who are in Arusha can actually connect to the centers. We have 3 centers in Mombasa, in Nyali, Kizingo, Ganjoni. So 3 centers, active centers. We have 7 instructors who are part of the East Africa region, and we are all actively working. And we have one Pranic Healing Foundation office, which is at the TRV Center, Unit 12, 3rd floor at Parklands. You can always visit us. No, we have a lot of sessions which go on there. And remember, we have 7 dynamic instruments who are actually teaching these courses, who are trying to bring the public awareness and all that. So there is word going around and work is flowing. And if you want to know globally, pranic healing is spread in over 120 plus countries at the moment and growing.
Awesome, awesome. So one final question that we have from somebody. I mean, I was going to wrap up the session, but it's an important question. People do not understand the how spirituality is related to religion. Some people think I'm Muslim or I'm Christian or I'm Hindu. How am I? Is this meant for me, or is this only for Hindus, or only for, because you said mantras in between, and some people may not understand that it is open to all. But right here we have you who's a Muslim and he is a Hindu and I am a Hindu and we have Christians doing it. So just a quick note, if you can say how, why, what about this.
So one of the things about pranic healing is not really a religion. It is something that we all need, irrespective of what religion you follow or what aspects of your belief system that you follow. It's nothing to do with that. All humanity have the same issues and same things, and pranic healing is a way of life dealing with all those issues in life. So we don't relate to any religion. One of the things Master Cho always said that if you learn pranic healing, you will also understand your religion better. You will understand the people around you better. And that is what life is all about, understanding each other and understanding people around you. How do you relate to them? And if we have the knowledge of pranic healing and we have the knowledge of the energy and how energy affects us, then we will be better people, and we will also practice our religious uh, kriyas or whatever you want to call them, that we will practice them in a better way by understanding it better. Like simple things like in the Islamic tradition, they do sajda, but do we really know what really happens in the sajda? So these are some of the energy aspects which can be explained in pranic healing. That why do we do that, and how can we make it better? How can we make it precise? And how can we get advantage of it? In the same things when we go to the church, why do we pray before a church? Why do we bow down before a church when we enter a church? So there are various things that can be, exposed in terms of every aspects of the faith that we follow. There's so many things that are related to this particular aspect of energy and how we can work with this in a much better way.
And that's why the teacher says it's a science and art of healing. Pranic healing is non-sectarian. It respects all beliefs and religions. Master Cho Kuksu was a Catholic himself. And he has taught inner teachings of Hinduism revealed, inner teachings of Buddhism revealed. And he has really made me understand why I do certain rituals in my own religion. If I have to pray, then how my chakras get influenced by it, how peaceful I feel. If anything, it makes you a better Muslim, it makes you a better Hindu, it makes you a better Christian, because you have a deeper essence of understanding your energies. That's all. And we are not here to replace anybody's beliefs or ideas. That's why pranic healing works so much beautifully with everyone, because the teacher was very open and he said respect every being's religion. It's a way of life,
Yes,
but we must respect each other's religions, because we all
yes.
have our belief systems. And if anything, we just understand it better. That's all. Like I said, simple word, be still and know that I'm God. It's in John, one of the verses in John Bible. I think verse 2, I couldn't remember the exact verse, but this is said. And if you really go to the deeper essence, you actually realize, yes, what he said, be still and know that I'm God. If you have turbulences in your mind, if you want to meditate and your thought forms running from A to Z every time, how can your mind be still? How will you listen to the whispers of what God is trying to tell you? How will you have this inner peace in you? But once you learn to have this inner peace, you learn how to quieten the monkey brain, and you learn how to be still and just listen to your whispers. Then God talks to you. He always does. And the problem is, because we are so busy with life, we forget to listen to that whispers. So this is one essence of understanding: be still and know that I am God. So this is something which really made an impact on me when I heard it. I teach this in our courses, which is called Achieving Oneness with the Higher Soul, and it really made a difference. Those who have attended, you can see a review from them, and they have really felt a transformation taking place in their lives. So we are not here to say, you must do this and all that. It's a choice everybody makes. If they do want to do the classes, and like I said, there are many modalities of healing open today. People are getting more aware of it. As long as you do it properly, you will benefit from anything you do. It's not just about pranic healing,
Definitely,
it's about energy. And any class you're
definitely.
connected to, any spiritual school you're connected to, whichever feels
Yeah.
resonates your heart and you do it
Go
with
for
full
it.
faith,
Yeah,
you will benefit. That is what we
definitely.
believe you will. It's not about that, that only do pranic healing. That's not true. You do what your heart follows, and it will make a big difference in your life. As long as you have respect, faithfulness, and a positive attitude, you will achieve what you want.
Lovely. We have a message from Wambui Irene who says, Palms
Yes.
4610, be still.
Yes.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
it is so true that the calling comes for you. There was a text I received earlier to ask that do you have to go for pranic healing, or does the calling come? So I believe that the calling comes when it's your time. You will feel like, I need to start this journey. I have done it. My brother has done it. My dad, I think, did one course, but my mom did not. And I really want her to do it because she stresses out the most at home. So I think it is something that everyone should do. And a basic course does no harm. Something you should explore, see if it's for you, if it calls you, if it's your thing. But this is so amazing. This was an amazing session, and the best part was the prayer that we did. It touched my soul. Such beautiful messages. Everyone was just complimenting us. I really, really enjoyed this episode, and I'm so glad this has worked out. And we are sharing this knowledge with everybody out there watching us. We do not know how many souls it'll touch, but I'm sure it'll touch millions, thousands of souls, millions maybe of souls. And it was amazing to learn the basics of pranic healing, what pranic healing is for people who do not know. At least they have an idea. They understand that we have an aura. It's about the cleansing of aura. It's about purifying your own aura by meditating, by having positive thoughts. And we have somebody asking, where do we connect with the basic course? I hopefully Conscious Kenya will share some information about this, and we'll leave it in the with the live. We'll put in some information as a comment, and we'll leave their contacts as well. And yeah, this has been amazing, Shahwana ji and Jayesh ji. And I really, really respect you and honor you so much, because you are my teacher and I have learned so, so much from you. And I always think about you in difficult times. I remember this trip that I made with her for our advanced course, and we went to the city called Eldoret in Kenya. And on the way, she kept appreciating the sky and the nature around us. And that touched my heart. And every time I look out of a window on a long trip and I see the beautiful sky, I always remember her. And I think that's the connect I have with you. And the sky will never end. It'll always be there. And you will always be there in my mind. And I am so grateful for whoever took me to this class called Pranic Healing. And here I am. I'm a much better person. My mom and dad can vouch for that. So I would definitely urge everyone who is interested in spirituality or interested in the whole energy healing process, explore this, study on this, Google this, and definitely they have their website, they have their Facebook page, Instagram page, and Conscious Kenya will be having a page about them and their information. And they have several healers in Nairobi, in all over Kenya, in Tanzania, in Uganda, in Ethiopia. I recently learned. So let's get in touch and let's learn this while we have the
And
time.
by the way, our big base is West Africa. Huh? We have pranic healing spread in 9 countries in West Africa and growing huge.
That
We
is
have a
that is
pranic healing
so
West
amazing.
Africa Foundation there, which is amazing. With we have over 50 instructors in West Africa.
This is amazing, amazing. So I hope that we have touched the right amount of souls, brought peace to people, spread some love, and I hope everybody out there will explore this and other spiritual practices and make themselves happy in this tough times. And definitely get in touch with them and change your life, take the steps. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in this Tuesday for this special episode that we decided to do. It was quite a last minute thing, but I think it turned out well. And I'm so glad we have been able to reach out to everyone. And thank you for tuning in, guys. See you next week with another show, with other guests and probably another host. But thank you for tuning into the Conscious Kenya show, guys. Bye-bye and good night.
Thank you to Conscious Kenya. Thank you.
Atma
Thank
namaste.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Atma namaste.